Turnaround.
Turnaround.
The average turnaround for a passport application is 6 working days. We must reduce costs and shorten turnaround times. The remarkable turnaround in our economy.
Turncoat.
Turncoat.
Carlson was publicly criticized as a turncoat and a traitor.
Turner.
Turner.
Turning.
Turning.
He must have taken a wrong turning in the dark. Take the first turning on the left.
Turning circle.
Turning circle.
Turning point.
Turning point.
Meeting her was the turning point in my life.
Turnip.
Turnip.
Turnkey.
Turnkey.
The development and sale of turnkey systems for telecommunications customers.
Turn off.
Turn off.
I missed the turn off to the farm.
Pornographic pictures are a real turn-off to most women. Turn of the century.
Turn of the century.
Narrow turn-of-the-century streets.
Turn on.
Turn on.
It was a turn-on to be the centre of attention.
Turnout.
Turnout.
The low turnout of 54% in the March elections.
I was disappointed by the turnout for our home match.
Turnover.
Turnover.
The illicit drugs industry has an annual turnover of some £200 billion.
Turnover rose 9%. TriStar's fast turnover of stock.
Low pay accounts for the high turnover.
A high degree of labour turnover among women.
An apple turnover.
Turnpike.
Turnpike.
New Jersey Turnpike.
Turn round.
Turn round.
Turn signal.
Turn signal.
Turnstile.
Turnstile.
We've had 600,000 admissions through the turnstiles.
Turntable.
Turntable.
Turntablist.
Turntablist.
Turn up.
Turn up.
Fancy you being in New York too. What a turn up for the books.
Turpentine.
Turpentine.
Turpitude.
Turpitude.
Laziness and moral turpitude.
Terps.
Terps.
Turquoise.
Turquoise.
Turquoise earrings. The room was painted in turquoise. A clear turquoise sea.
Turret.
Turret.
Turtle.
Turtle.
Turtle dove.
Turtle dove.
Turtleneck.
Turtleneck.
Turves.
Turves.
Tush.
Tush.
Tusk.
Tusk.
Tussle.
Tussle.
After quite a tussle, I finally wrenched the letter from him.
His defeat in the leadership tussle.
He was tussling with the other boys. They tussled for first place in the race.
Tussock.
Tussock.
Tut.
Tut.
The nurse rushed in, tutting with irritation.
My phone is somewhere underneath all this tut on my desk. He was talking a load of old tut about the house being haunted.
Tutelage.
Tutelage.
You can attend embroidery classes under the tutelage of Jocelyn James.
Parental tutelage.
Tutorial.
Tutorial.
The tutorial system.
Tutorial staff.
Tutorial supervision.
Tutti frutti.
Tutti frutti.
Tutor.
Tutor.
The children were educated at home by a succession of tutors.
She was my tutor at Durham.
He was privately tutored.
Young men were tutored in the art of handling horses.
Tuxedo.
Tuxedo.
TV.
TV.
I watched the film on TV. A TV series based on the novel. A new TV set. He's the top TV presenter for children's programs.
TV dinner.
TV dinner.
TVP.
TVP.
Twaddle.
Twaddle.
I don't believe in all that twaddle about fate.
Twain.
Twain.
Twang.
Twang.
A nasal twang.
Her voice had a slight Australian twang.
She twanged the guitar strings.
Twas.
'twas,
Twat.
twat,
Tweak.
Tweak.
She leant forward and tweaked both ends of his moustache.
Maybe you should tweak a few sentences before you send in the report.
Twee.
twee,
She produced twee little flower paintings.
Tweed.
Tweed.
A thick tweed suit.
He wore casual country tweeds.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Some voters felt there was little real difference between the two party leaders, a case of choosing between Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Tweedy.
Tweedy.
Tween.
tween,
It's not easy being the mum of two tweens.
Tweet.
Tweet.
Tweetable. Tweetable. His speech contained a lot of tweetable quotes.
Tweeter.
Tweeter.
Tweezers.
Tweezers.
She was plucking her eyebrows with a pair of tweezers.
12th.
12th.
He received a 12-month jail sentence.
Come at 12.
Their son Dylan is 12.
Her 12th birthday. In the 12th century. I'm planning to leave on the 12th.
12.
12.
He received a 12-month jail sentence.
Come at 12.
Their son Dylan is 12.
Her 12th birthday. In the 12th century. I'm planning to leave on the 12th.
20.
20. A small village 20 miles from Nairobi.
I'm nearly 20. In the 20s, the business expanded.
The photograph was taken in the late 20s.
She was in her early 20s when I met her. A warm day, with temperatures in the low 20s.
I offered the driver a 20.
In the 20th century. Her 20th birthday.
I'm planning to leave on the 20th.
21st.
21st,
24/7.
24/7,
21.
21.
20 questions.
20 questions. Just tell me straight. Don't make me play 20 questions.
20-something.
20-something,
A crowd of 20-somethings were gathered outside the club.
2020.
2020,
A pilot must have 20/20 vision. 2020. 2020.
Twerp.
twerp,
Twice.
Twice.
He was questioned by police twice yesterday.
Letters were delivered twice a week only.
None of our dinner menus are exactly the same twice over.
They employ 90 people, twice as many as last year.
Interest rates are twice as high as those of our competitors, an area twice the size of Britain.
Twiddle.
Twiddle.
Let's go. There's no point in sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
She was twiddling with her earrings.
twig,
Twig.
It took ages before he twigged.
Twilight.
twilight,
The end of the cigarette glowed in the twilight.
Romantic walks along the beach at twilight.
In the twilight of her acting career.
Depression in the twilight years is usually related to illness.
The twilight world of espionage.
Twilit.
twilit,
Twill.
Twill.
Grey twill trousers.
Twin.
Twin.
The twins are now 8 months old.
Meet my twin sister.
The twin problems of poverty and unemployment.
All the twin rooms have private bathrooms.
Chichester in England is twinned with Chartres in France.
Dole has been twinned in the history books with his old rival Bush.
Twin bed.
Twin bed.
Twin-bedded rooms.
Twine.
Twine.
A bundle of papers tied up with twine.
She twined her arms round him and kissed his cheek.
A dark green ivy plant twined round the pole.
Twin-engined.
twin-engined,
Twinge.
Twinge.
I felt a twinge of pain in my back.
He felt a sharp twinge of guilt for not taking the trouble to visit her.
Twinkle.
Twinkle.
stars twinkling in the sky. I saw lights twinkling in the little town below us.
Her eyes twinkled with amusement.
A kindly, white-haired old gentleman with a twinkle in his eye.
Twinkling.
Twinkling.
Twinset.
Twinset.
Twin town.
Twin town.
Oxford's twin town is Bonn.
Twirl.
Twirl.
Couples were twirling around the dance floor.
She twirled the liquid around in her glass.
Twist.
Twist.
He twisted his head slightly and looked up at her.
She twisted round so that she could see the dog better.
His mouth twisted in a humourless smile.
She twisted her handkerchief into a knot.
Twist the two ends of the wire together.
She twisted a silk scarf around her neck.
Anne twisted some daisies through Catherine's thick brown hair.
Jack twisted the cap off the bottle.
The road twisted between spectacular mountains. He's always trying to twist my words and make me look bad.
Harriet slipped on the stairs and twisted her ankle.
The river twists and turns through the green fields.
No one twisted my arm about coming to see you. The policeman twisted my arm behind me and arrested me.
The robbery took a deadly new twist as the robber pulled out a gun.
An unexpected twist in the plot.
By an amazing twist of fate, we met again in Madrid 5 years later.
He smiled a slow, cynical twist of his lips.
A twist of lemon.
The woman's mad, she told herself. She's round the twist.
A twisty road.
Twisted.
Twisted.
The plane's twisted wreckage.
Whoever sent those letters has a twisted mind.
Twister.
Twister.
Twit.
Twit.
Twitch.
Twitch.
His mouth twitched slightly, and then he smiled.
He twitched his eyebrows.
On reform. Sarah on reform. Sarah twitched the reins, and we moved off.
A nervous twitch.
There was no movement in the house, not even a twitch of the curtains.
Twitcher.
Twitcher.
Twitchy.
Twitchy.
I was very twitchy about the way things would turn out.
Twitter.
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 She's been all of a Twitter since her daughter's engagement.
Twitter storm.
Twitter storm. His controversial comments caused a Twitter storm.
Twixt.
Twixt.
Two-bit.
Two-bit.
She's just a two-bit movie star.
Two-dimensional.
Two-dimensional.
A two-dimensional shape.
Two-edged.
Two-edged.
A two-edged comment.
Strong leadership is a two-edged sword.
A two-edged blade.
Two-faced.
Two-faced.
He's a two-faced liar.
Twofold.
Twofold.
A twofold increase in cases of TB.
The benefits of the scheme are twofold.
Student numbers have expanded twofold in 10 years.
Two-handed.
Two-handed.
A two-handed catch.
A two-handed sword.
Two-man.
Two-man.
A two-man tent.
Tuppence.
Tuppence.
Tuppenny.
Tuppenny.
2% milk.
2% milk.
Two-person.
Two-person.
A two-person household.
Two-piece. Two-piece.
Two-seater.
Two-seater.
A two-seater sofa.
Two-sided.
Two-sided.
A two-sided problem.
Twosome.
Twosome.
A well-known comedy twosome.
Two-star.
Two-star.
Two-step.
Two-step.
Two-stroke.
Two-stroke.
Two-time.
He doesn't know Claire has been two-timing him.
Two-tone.
Two-tone.
Two-tone shoes.
A two-tone alarm.
Two-two.
Two-two.
Two down, two up.
Two down, two up. Two-way.
Two-way.
Two-way traffic.
Two-way trade.
Corruption is a two-way process.
Two-way mirror.
Two-way mirror.
Two-way street.
Two-way street.
Marriage has to be a two-way street.
T.
Certainty.
Tycoon.
Tycoon.
A multi-millionaire property tycoon.
Tying.
Tying.
Tyke.
Tyke.
Tympanum.
Tympanum.
Type.
Type.
I've already seen a few movies of this type. What type of music do you like?
There are two main types of sleep.
Joe's not really the sporty type.
Beth is not the type to make a fuss.
He wasn't my type, really. Italic type.
He types with 2 fingers.
Type your password, then press return.
I went home to type up the report.
Please wait while I type in your details. DNA typing. Typecast.
Typecast.
He always gets typecast as the villain.
Typeface. Typeface.
The new logo features a more modern typeface.
Typescript.
Typescript.
Typesetting.
Typesetting.
Computerized typesetting. Typewriter.
Typewriter.
Typewritten.
Typewritten.
Typewritten notes.
Typhoid.
Typhoid.
A sudden outbreak of typhoid.
Typhoon.
Typhoon.
Typhus.
Typhus.
A typhus epidemic.
Typical.
Typical.
Typical British weather.
This painting is typical of his work.
This advertisement is a typical example of their marketing strategy.
On a typical day, our students go to classes from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Try calculating your budget for a typical week.
Bennett accepted the award with typical modesty.
It's not typical of Jill to be so critical. Mr. Stevens's appointment was a typical case of promoting a man beyond his level of competence. Typically.
Typically.
Typically, he didn't even bother to tell anyone he was going.
Al was his typically cheerful self again.
A delightful, typically Dutch hotel.
The male of the species is typically smaller than the female.
Women in developing countries typically have their first child when they are very young.
I typically get around 30 emails a day.
Typify.
The features which typify a Scottish Highland landscape.
Non-violent protest, typified by Gandhi.
The long, complicated sentences that typify legal documents.
Typing.
Typing.
Typing errors.
I'm no good at typing.
Typing pool.
Typing pool.
Typist.
Typist.
I'm a slow typist.
Typo.
Typo.
Typography.
Typography.
Typographic errors.
Typographer.
Typographer.
Typology.
Typology.
Tyrannical.
Tyrannical.
A tyrannical parent.
Tyrannical laws.
Tyrannize.
Tyrannize.
The children were tyrannized by their father.
Armed groups tyrannizing over civilians.
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannous.
Tyrannous.
Tyranny.
Tyranny.
Gorky was often the victim of his grandfather's tyranny.
The fight against tyranny.
Organizations which have criticized the tyrannies of the government.
The tyranny of the 9-to-5 working day.
Tyrant.
Tyrant.
The country had long been ruled by tyrants. My headmaster was a real tyrant.
Tire.
Tire.
I had a flat tyre on the way home.
The spare tyre's in the boot.
A punctured front tyre.
Tsar.
Tsar.
Tsarina.
Tsarina.
Tsarism.
Tsarism.
Tsetse fly.
Tsetse fly.
U.
U.
I love you.
UAV.
UAV.
Uber. Uber.
Uber babe, Pamela Lee.
I want to do something uber cool with my web page.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous.
Coffee shops are ubiquitous these days.
A French film, starring the ubiquitous Gérard Depardieu.
U-boat.
U-boat.
Udder.
Udder.
UFO.
UFO.
Ugh.
Ugh.
That's disgusting.
Ugly.
Ugly.
A very ugly man.
The ugliest building in town.
Nick's dog is as ugly as sin.
There were ugly scenes as rival gangs started attacking each other.
An ugly incident.
Jealousy is an ugly emotion.
Ugly rumours.
The ugly American.
The ugly American.
The ugly sisters.
The ugly sisters.
UHF.
UHF.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Can I sit here? Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I just deleted all my work. Uh-oh. Here she comes.
UHT milk.
UHT milk.